You are listening to This Week in Clown World with Ben and Hobbs, so sit back, relax, take your black pill, and enjoy the show.
Good evening, pals. It is once again time for This Week in Clown World with Ben and Hobbs. I'm Hobbs, he's Ben. You're in Clown World, and in the image on deck, I know what this is, and yes, this is indicative of Clown World.
Oh, you saw this floating around too, huh?
Yeah, I
Just gotta
did.
throw it up. I just caught it. So
this is I guess Twitter X, whatever, they rolled out an about this page feature that they had to pull down within a couple of hours because people noticed that the DHS,
other ones too.
yeah, but the official DHS, which has actually been posting some pretty based content in the last couple of months, but originally it joined in 2008, and everything is Israel. Date joined 2008 in Israel. Account based in Tel Aviv, Israel. Connected via the Israel App Store. So,
In case you were ever wondering if you had any doubts, that kind of proves it.
yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. We just got a thing in one of our chats saying that somebody can't hear anything. So I don't know if anybody's watching on the Rumble stream. Let me know if you can hear, and we'll see if we can figure this out. But either way, we'll just keep on trucking. Might be something wrong with on your end. But anyways,
the pre-show. I just checked. I can hear our audio on the stream. So maybe the pre-show was the streaming was screwed up. The intro music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so over here on the Rumble feed, somebody says that they can hear us. So, okay, cool. I'll just let them know that they can.
Sorry you missed out on our easy listening intro music to start your experience with Clown World, but it happens.
Yeah, it does. So anyways, yeah, that was a little bit disheartening. I don't know if it's still based in Israel or if it's since moved back to where it belongs. But that's yeah. It is, though. It's kind of indicative to kind of the biggest. I wouldn't say it's a story, but it's the theme over the past couple of weeks is that Trump himself is having a bit of a crisis with the MAGA base right now, and a lot of it has to deal with the sort of, I guess, unrequited love between the U.S. government and Israel, and a lot of it has to do with him, going back on certain promises, slow walking the Epstein thing, this 600,000 Chinese students that he wants to bring in, like all 600,000 of them are going to be spies, and that they're going to be spies. I mean, it's just like
hot ones looking to seduce CEOs.
Yeah, there was one meme that I saw the other day that really kind of, here it is. So it's a from the New York Post. It says sex warfare. China, Russia send hot women to seduce U.S. tech executives, steal secrets, report claims. And the post above that says the frigid unfuckability of American women has become a national security risk.
Legitimately.
Yes, legitimately now.
Great. So start building your fake LinkedIns that you're a tech CEO, boys.
Two could play this game. Start feeding them a bunch of wrong information.
I wonder if that goes both ways. I don't know.
Considering the one-child policy prioritized men, you would think that there wouldn't be a whole lot of available hot Chinese women because it's kind of a buyer's market over there for them.
But yeah, to get back in what you're talking about, the H-1Bs, and other infiltration by Israel. I wonder. I mean, there's been a lot of speculation on the Epstein files that the reason they've been delayed so much is because Mossad is so heavily implicated.
Well, yeah, there's that. Mike Johnson came out and said that if they are released unredacted, that it poses a national security risk. And people are like, national security risk for which country, Mike? And that seems a bit facetious, but then you have to think about it for like all of a half of a second, and you're like, that's exactly what everybody should be asking. It's like, and especially when there was somebody a few weeks ago who was going up to uh, congressmen, as just like walking through the halls of Congress, and if he saw one, he'd go like, "Hey, who do you serve, or who's more important to you, American people or Israel?" And he couldn't get. I think he got one congressman to say like, obviously Americans. Is They were just kind of like, well, our allies, and then there was one guy that was like, asking me to choose between America and Israel is like asking me to choose between my wife and my daughter, and it's like, is it though? Is
What
it?
the
Is it
hell?
really? Yeah, I mean, it's so gross.
And I don't. The other thing, we said bin Salman came to the White House. I don't understand how we're able to play up to both of those two. Or is Saudi Arabia also in bed with Israel somehow?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the Saudis and Israel have in the past couple of decades have they're kind of frenemies. Like they'll work together if they've got common interest, but like they'd rather not have to deal with each other if they can help it. Um, it's basically the Saudis hate Iran or Iran, and the Israelis hate Iran. So they're like covertly, like, okay, we'll shake hands on this. We hate Iran.
Which
Yeah,
coincidentally, they might not have to worry about Iran very much in the future. The capital's running out of water in like 2 weeks.
yeah.
Did you see that? They told 9 million people, "Hey, we've all got to move."
Well, I mean, 9 million people moving. It's a lot more difficult than the 2 million people they're asking to move out of Gaza, I
Right.
guess.
So yeah, big oopsie by the Iranian government when they were busy trying to build nukes. They should have been looking into desalinization.
Yeah, it's I guess it must be a new problem figuring out how to bring water to the desert.
So yeah, I think that's going to be the next interesting thing coming down the line in the Middle East because what do they say? How long does it take for a revolution to start when you run out of food?
Three
What's that?
three missed meals away from a revolution,
Yeah. Well,
typically.
how many missed glasses of water away from a revolutionary? We're probably going to find out.
Yeah, there's one thing that I've learned in the last, couple of decades of dealing with the Middle East. It's that the governments and the intelligence agencies over there are really, really, really good at deflecting blame for their own fuck ups onto some external enemy. Whether it be the Iraqi government deflecting all of its problems on the United States occupation, the Iranian government deflecting all of its problems onto the United States' involvement, Israel deflecting all of its problems into Gaza, etc.,
Well, the
etc.
Iranian one, I mean, they've been in a 6 year drought, granted, but they also built a water storage dam on top of an area that had salt mines in it. So the dam filled up and the water became salinated, and they spread that on their crops. And apparently, electrolytes are not what
I was
not what
just
you're.
going to say the same
It's
thing.
literally idiocracy. Um,
Yeah.
your plants do not crave electrolytes, as Iran found out.
Yeah. Oh God. And you're like, at some point, you're like, yeah, these guys are total shitheads, but I do kind of feel sorry for them because they just keep getting the short end of the stick.
Well, they've got such a lockdown on their population. I mean, anytime they get any sort of dissent, they just gun them down.
Yeah. I heard one geopolitical analyst the other day say something about how the the fact that the Iranian Islamic Revolution is the one that's in charge of Iran is just a powder keg that's waiting to go off because Iran is a largely Persian country that's been subjugated by an Arab religion, and the
The,
fact that they've been able to
the
hang on.
the beta test of importing Muslims.
Yeah, I guess so. But but I forget exactly how it was that he put it, but he was saying that Islam being a largely Arab religion being kind of foisted onto a proud and noble and long existing culture like the Persians. It's something that it's really been a miracle that's lasted for as long as it has.
Hmm.
So, when their water supply dries out and their food, and they see their government spending money on stuff to, like nuclear weapons and stuff instead of, yeah, yeah,
Well,
people
and
are gonna,
another complaint they're having too is all the drone techno. I mean, they were sending all this technology and money to Palestine,
yeah,
and they weren't doing anything to. I mean, they obviously this water problem isn't something that just poof came out of nowhere.
yeah,
They were trying to build dams, and like I said, they built the one that salted all their water. They've been in this 6 year drought, and they haven't really been trying to find a solution. They want to blame it on somebody. Well, apparently God hates them if they want to
yeah.
if they want to point any blame.
Ironically enough, the masters of desalinating water are the Israelis. And so if they had a better relationship with those guys, their problems problems would have largely been solved. But
I'm going to say Saudi Arabia is pretty effective at it. Also, I've seen. Um, so yeah, that's where they're at.
yep, stuck between two countries that are great at desalinating their water, and they're not friendly with either one.
But to swing us back, we got from Epstein to Jews to that. Um, the Epstein list thing. Uh, I mean, most likely Mossad's going to be implicated, or CIA will be implicated. Um, it seems like they gave the same comment about why they couldn't release Epstein that they did about the JFK assassination, also.
Yeah, national security threat, or national security risk, or whatever. Which, if you're me and you're saying that our national security hinges on the protection of kid diddlers, then I say the nation deserves to burn.
Right.
Um, I don't know why anybody in Washington thinks that dangling this national security canard over everybody's head anytime something comes out. I mean, let's just take Israel completely out of it. Let's just say that they're not involved at all.
Mm.
You're still protecting child rapists in very high positions of power, which then kind of begs the question of, were they child rapists that were just possessed with a superhuman degree of ambition and skill to get to where they were? Or were they relatively normal people that were then compromised later on down the road? Because if it's option A, you really, really have to wonder why so many child rapists get into positions of power. And if it's option B, then you have to figure out who's compromising people and hang them by the neck.
Yeah, and it's like, why is that the one that they used to compromise with? I mean, there's not something more humiliating they could use, or they just go for the gusto on the maximum.
It really shows
I mean, you think get a picture of him with a ball gag in, and you know what I'm saying? It's a but no, it's like right up to pedophiles is where they're going with it.
It really shows the disparity between the morals of people in power, or in this case rather the people that are kind of behind the power, and the normal people. Because to a normal person, down here on planet Earth where you and I reside, child rape is like the worst thing that a person can possibly engage in. It's disgusting, it's criminal, it's immoral, it's everything that is wrong. And the elite know that, which is
Mhm.
why they use it to compromise people, why they go straight to it. Um, and the fact that they're not only doing it, but they're okay with doing it at the scale that they do it. It's like, how evil are the people that we've got running the governments of the world, where this is their weapon of first resort to go to? It's like, oh, we've got this up and coming young congressman who is going to be in a position that could be leveraged in our benefit in one way or in another. Let's catch him in a room with a 13-year-old kid.
Well, and I don't understand Trump on this one either. I don't remember what his early comments were on. Was he a release the list person his first term? I don't remember.
He Okay, so people are kind of speculating that he's implicated in some way, and that very well could be true. During his first term, it was never really an issue. People weren't talking about it. It was sort of in that Biden era that he was calling for the release of it, and people in his orbit were calling for the release of it, and it became an issue on the campaign trail. He may have said like one thing on the campaign trail in 2016 to Hillary Clinton during one of their debates or something about, Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton's relationship. But even then, like, the amount of noise that he made up until he got into office on this second term makes me believe that there is nothing in there that implicates him directly. And it was only when he got into office that somebody came into his office and laid it on his desk and said, if you release this, this person is going to go down. This country's intelligence apparatus is going to go down. This bank is going to collapse. And you just like go through it's like all of this stuff is going to fall apart, and you are going to be the one who everybody's going to hold responsible for essentially the pillars that keep the world operating are built on this shifting sand of child rape. At which point I'd say let it fall, because this is no foundation to build a functioning society on.
And we talked about too that I mean, there's got to be a different account he was using that's not his. I mean, why would he use Gmail for all that?
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. And this was something that I talked about in one of our other group chats was, if you're Jeffrey Epstein, you are basically dealing in compromat and other intelligence assets. You know that the people that you deal with, I'm talking, he's dealing with American CIA, he's dealing with MI6 in Great Britain, he's dealing with Israeli Mossad, he's probably dealing with the Chinese, whatever their intelligence is, he's probably dealing with the FSB in Russia, he's probably divvying out information to anybody who's willing to pay for it. So they all know who he is. He has to know that any of his communications are going to be monitored by any and all of these organizations. So, of course, he's going to get something that's as unsecure as a standard Gmail account, and then just start throwing red herrings out there.
Well, the
The
thing is, too, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw this. Somebody took all the Epstein emails and recreated them as a Gmail account. So it looks just like a Gmail account. It's jmail.world. It's been swamped. I've been trying to get into it this whole time. Let me just show you. Let me just share it here. So it basically recreates Jeffrey Epstein's entire Gmail account. And it's interesting to go to the sent. Probably guys probably can't read this because it's so small. But it seems like he was legitimately using this for serious business. Like here's one he sent to somebody. Uh, Went to opening of Warpaint last night. Sat next to John Connolly at after parties he's on. I'm happy to meet him. Do you want me to arrange it? Be careful. I asked him about Trump and Russians. He said maybe some truth there. If you want to meet him, just give me the word. It's like this guy was legitimately using this small biz and Trump. It seems so weird that he was using this for his business. It's not even and his email account was JEEvacation at Gmail.
Yeah. So, part of me wants to think that he was using this as like for stuff like that, where he's like emailing prominent people to, get it. Because when you're in intelligence, you're going to want to drop some misdirection. Mm-hmm. So there was one email that was particularly that a lot of people like latched onto, where he asked, or his brother asked him, if he's like, hey, does Putin have the video of Trump blowing Bubba?
Yeah.
And so I read that and I'm like, okay, so you send something like that through Gmail that you have to know is being monitored by all of these different intelligence apparatuses, okay? So at this time, this was 2018. This was like at the height of Trump's first war on the Chinese, his economic war on the Chinese. Mm-hmm. So, like, let's say Chinese intelligence intercepts this email between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark, where one of them is alleging that there's video and photographs of Trump performing oral sex on Bill Clinton. So now the Chinese think, like, hey, Jeffrey Epstein is alleging that this happens, and he says that Putin has it. So they go to Putin, and they say, hey, is there any truth to this? And Putin says, no. What the hell are you talking about? Of course I don't have pictures of Trump giving head to Bill Clinton. So now the Chinese walk away going, yeah, but why would him and Mark Epstein be talking about this in an email? The Russians are hiding something from us. And the Russians are going, does this exist and we don't have it? So it's misdirection for all of these various intel agencies out there. And in a way, it's like, it's so simple, it's stupid. But at the same time, you keep it simple, stupid is often your best approach.
Like this one, Daniel Syed. Hello, Jeffrey. A great friend of mine rented a huge house in Ibiza, so invited lots of girls from Russia, all models, because they'll be doing shootings for several magazines with a great scout named Ty Green. He used to scout for Trump, but he doesn't work for him anymore. He coming with 12 girls the first week of July, then 13 the second week. He'd like to meet you. Please let me know if you come to spend. Ty Green has the best taste next to you. I'm happy to meet him. He had a girl named so-and-so in Paris, and he told many bad things about me. So, I mean, go check it out, guys. I read so many of these. It's just, he seems like such a doofus.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. He told that girl bad things about me. Okay, Jeffrey, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's things like that make me think that this guy is either like a super genius who was using this Gmail as a misdirection, or perhaps he was just that arrogant that he believed that he could get away with using an unsecured Gmail account. And I think it might be just like a little bit of both, because I still maintain to this day that he was the shiny object.
Yeah. He's a controlled pervert that Mossad and CIA were using.
Yeah, and Ghislaine Maxwell was the one who was really
I don't think I've seen any emails between him and just laying on there, but I should have
And
searched for her name.
you probably won't find a single one.
She's like, Jeffrey, you got to use this account on our controlled servers.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, check that out, guys. It's kind of a fun read to go through. Trump, you can search. It's just like a Gmail account. You can search for Trump's name and read where it comes up. Nothing, like you said, nothing real damning in that account.
Yeah. And you said that was at
J,
Gmail.
jmail.world.
Hmm.
You might have to try a couple times. It's been, I got into it a week or so ago, but it's been getting hammered a lot lately. Everybody's checking them out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like we were kind of going on before, like the Trump has been having a bit of a crash out. His more, I don't want to say like extreme wing of his base, but like the people that heard America first and took it seriously and are dissatisfied with all of the concessions that are being made to the obviously not America first components of the international global order are getting pissed.
Mm.
Um, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who at one time was Trump's biggest cheerleader, is now,
Serious Trump dick writer.
yeah, she has now completely turned and is she's actually resigning from Congress in January.
Yeah, she's not even finishing out her term. She's just like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah,
Which,
there's
I mean, we
there's some
talked about a little bit
speculation.
too. She's leaving with plenty of money.
Yeah, leaving with
Like,
plenty of money, and
coincidentally, she makes her pension cut off too by waiting till January.
yeah, which okay.
Yeah, like when you got 25 million, what's 100,000 a year, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's also some speculation that I've seen that she might be considering a run in 28, which I don't think so. I think that would be a waste of
I
money
don't know
on
much
her
about her
part.
background. I just know her from her goofy sound bites and stuff. I don't know. I mean, does she have any sort of background that you'd want them in an executive position?
She ran some businesses in Georgia. I mean, she's a business person, but the thing about, so she's kind of got a voice that doesn't translate well to giving speeches or debates or things like that. She's kind of got a bit of a grating personality. She's got a deep Southern accent. It's
Yeah, deep Southern accents. Sorry, South. It does not work. I mean, Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton, but theirs weren't thick.
yeah. There's an institutional bias in this country that against the people hear a Southern accent, they immediately think stupid. For you know, as wrong as that is, that's just how things are. We have a question over here in one of our groups. How do you guys feel Fuentes is going to shape politics in the U.S. in the next 2 years? Uh,
Oof.
yeah. So okay. So the thing about Nick Fuentes is he's a bomb thrower. He says a lot of stuff that gets the wheels turning in your head, but then he also says a lot of things that really turn a lot of people off. He's a lot like Andrew Tate in a lot of ways, in that he says a lot of smart stuff, but he often says it in such a retarded or abrasive way that people have a hard time taking it seriously.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, in the United States, people have a certain expectation that their political figures are very like monotone and above board. Everything is highly polished, manufactured, very stagecraft. I think it's ugly. I think it's like the political equivalent of brutalist architecture. But that's what people expect from their politics in the United States. It's actually it's a really weird juxtaposition when you take a look at how politics in the United States is viewed compared to culture in the United States. When a foreigner thinks of American culture, they think of like the rowdy barbecue and shooting guns in the air, cowboy west. And then you take a look at what the expectation of American politics is. It's like C-SPAN, where they're like rah 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 rah. And then you compare that to how things are over in Great Britain, where people think of the culture of Great Britain as very like straight-laced, stiff upper
Mhm.
lip, and then you look at like Prime Minister's Time or whatever on their version of C-SPAN, and it's like, Mr. Prime Minister, and they ask him a question, and then everybody is like, rabble, 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 rabble. So it's very, very opposite, very, very opposite, which is, as far as Fuentes goes, I think he would probably fit in much better in the British style of politics than in the American politics. However, the Trump era has definitely put that on its head,
Mhm.
because Trump is that sort of rabble rousing. He called a reporter piggy the other day.
Yeah.
He puts all of the polished pretense aside and just says what's on his mind, and people have actually decided that they kind of like that.
Mhm.
So we'll see.
I think he's going to have a bigger effect on it than a lot of people would like.
Yeah, and the more that they squeeze and try to shut him down, the more influence he's going to have.
Same with Tucker. Tucker's going to have a huge.
Yeah,
It'd be interesting if a candidate comes out that Tucker and Fuentes agree on,
yeah,
and how much that would carry them through.
yeah. We've still got 3.5 years until that rolls around, and given some of what we've been seeing in the last few years, I think that JD might be that man. I think he's just waiting for that time to sort of break with that neocon remnant that still has a hand.
Is he going to be willing to break with Israel?
He went to Israel a couple of months ago, and rather than take a photo op at the western wall of Fort Antonia, um, if you catch that,
Mhm.
um, rather than take a photo op at the wall, he actually he got a photo op at, I believe it was the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, with
Okay.
some Orthodox guys, and I think he also, no, I don't think he went to Bethlehem. He might have, but I definitely know that he went to the Holy Sepulchre and hung out with some Orthodox guys. So that was his photo op a couple of months ago. He might be prepared, depending on how Israel behaves in the next few months. He might be prepared to, if not break with them, but at least branch out to,
I
not
think
just
that's
give
who's
them.
going to win the next. Whoever decides to distance himself from Israel is who I think is going to win the next election. I don't. I don't think a lot of the political class realizes how unpopular Israel is with everybody.
Mhm. But it's also going to come down to the reasons that they decide that they're going to distance themselves from Israel, because I think that a lot of the uh, left-leaning politicians are ready to distance themselves from Israel, but it's based on a support of Palestine. And as ugly and gross as Israel's behavior has been in regards to Palestine, people in America are probably still going to be like, yeah, but it's Palestine, and they're basically Hamas, and Hamas are terrorists. So if you can, the politician that can say that we're we are breaking with Israel not because of the way they treat Palestine, but because of the way they treat us,
Yeah,
that will be the person who has the biggest shot at winning the next election, because that really is what the majority of people, especially people on the right who are Israel skeptic right now, that is what is number one on their minds. You know, they don't give a shit about Palestine either.
Mm.
It's the way that the Israeli influence on our government affects us.
Yeah, I'd love to see APAC get registered as a foreign agent.
Yeah.
And that's an easy one to do. That would fix so many issues.
Right. And the reason they get around not registering it is because the people that run APAC are largely American citizens or dual citizens,
Mm.
which that is another thing that I think needs to be done away with entirely. Like, what is a dual citizen?
Right. And,
If you're if you're a dual citizen, do you pay taxes to both countries?
especially having one elected to our federal government.
Oh yeah. Like
Should be no
you keep the dual citizen thing, but you're not going to be allowed to run for any public
right.
office.
And
Yeah.
I think MTG Taylor Green, she was one of the few that doesn't take APAC money, right?
I think it's her and Thomas Massey, and
Oh,
that's
there's
about
two of
it.
them.
Yeah.
I'd love to see somebody get that. If there's any reason that I would want to get elected to federal office, would just to tell APAC to kiss my Christian ass when they would come to offer money, or just take it and tell them to fuck off. Think how much
Yeah.
that would chafe a Jew if you,
Take the money and run.
yeah,
It's like, what are you going to do? Take it back?
yeah, give it back to him with the quarters with the edges shaved off. But yeah, that's
This donation was promised to me 3,000 years
yeah.
ago.
That's what I think is going to affect the outcome. I'm sure Fuentes is not going to support anybody. That seems like a long time off. I mean, it's only been 1 year of the Trump administration. It seems like it's been a long time already.
Yeah, this year has been a roller coaster.
It's been way different than his first term. You could tell that first term, he was just bumbling through that shit.
Yeah.
It seems like nothing, and they even had majorities everywhere, and it seemed like nothing of significance happened. And this time it's just one after another, after another, after another.
Yeah, the deep state's really been rolling out every trick in the book to trip this administration up. Luckily, though, he has a couple of good people. Tulsi and RFK seem to be staying off of the airwaves and
I've
just
heard shit
doing
about
their
Tulsi,
job.
so she's getting shit done.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. Pam
Yeah.
Bondi's been a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
As weird as it might sound, I'm starting to think that maybe if Matt Gaetz would have got in there, we would be seeing a lot more productive things going on, just because from his appearances on his podcast and other people's podcasts, it seems like his time in Washington has just kind of steeled his spine to just see it all burn. I think he hates Washington with a fiery passion.
I don't even remember what he got in trouble for.
He didn't get in trouble for it. Well, he was a congressman from Florida.
Right.
Trump nominated him for AG.
Correct.
So he resigned his Congress office, and then when it came time to confirm in the Senate, enough senators came out and said that they absolutely would not, under any circumstances, confirm him to the AG's office, and then he had to withdraw his nomination. There was something several years ago where he allegedly got in trouble for, again, underage girls, but it turned out that was, again, some Israeli intelligence honeypot operation. It goes back to a story about how a guy tried to extort $25 million out of him and his dad to run a rescue operation for an Israeli spy that was trapped behind enemy lines in Iran. And apparently, this is a scam that they'd run on several other people. So then, when he's like, "No, I'm not going to help you do that," they're like, "Well, did you know that this girl that you were seeing is actually underage?" And it turns out that, yes, she was, but she had a driver's license that said she wasn't. And the reason that she had a driver's license that said she wasn't was because one of the people trying to blackmail him or extort the money from him and his dad was the guy who was in charge of making driver's licenses in that county. So the girl didn't have a fake ID. She had a real ID with a fake birthday on it.
I mean, it's kind of I don't know. It's kind of scummy behavior. Even if she was 18, he's what? He was.
Well, this was like 10 years ago, so he would have been like in his late 20s, I think, or
Oh,
early
really? I
30s.
thought he was older than that.
Yeah,
It's
he's not a
still,
very old guy.
if he was 40-ish, it's pretty scummy behavior. 30s, it's getting there.
Yeah.
It's still not something you might want out of your attorney general if he's chasing 18-year-old girls.
Well,
And then wasn't there something weird where he had like an adopted son or
I don't know.
something?
Yeah, it's neither here nor there because
Yeah.
it's all.
Anyways, he was out. We're getting off track. The other thing, Trump's heel turn. I mean, he's done. We've kind of touched on that. It seems like he's just kind of said, "Fuck my base. They're not going to elect me again, so I'll just do whatever Trump wants to do."
Yeah. He accused some Democrat lawmakers of seditious behavior, punishable by death.
George Washington would have killed him.
Yeah, so there was a group of Democrat lawmakers who were saying that the military should refuse to enforce unlawful orders, which, yes,
That's,
military,
you're told that.
yes, you are. You're told. The problem is that a lot of military members have no fucking clue what an unlawful order is. And when you have the water carriers in the media claiming that every single breath that Trump takes is unlawful, then you're going to get into some gray area where an ignorant, sergeant or lieutenant or whatever is going to assume that, hey, guard this federal building while ICE goes out and does their jobs is an unlawful order. Or, any of the other things that he's had the National Guard do.
Go ahead, PFC, whatever. See how that works out for you. If you're a junior enlisted and think the governmental system is going to be on your side, you have not experienced a big green weenie yet, and that's not the way to do it.
I was about 3 months from getting out of the Army back in 2012 when things were looking like the U.S. was maybe going to get involved in Syria. And we had a battalion formation, and our battalion commander asked, like, is everybody ready for maybe getting sent to Syria? Is anybody here, not? And I'm like, I raised my hand, and everybody's like, oh. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, has Congress declared war, sir? And you just like see that modem noise going on in his head. The wheels are turning. And I'm pretty sure the Constitution says that Congress has to declare war. I'm pretty sure that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, not the War Powers Act. I'm pretty sure we've been using the War Powers Act since 2001, since some planes hit some buildings, rather than actually formally declaring war. I'm pretty sure all of this is not above board, sir. He's like, you're going to talk to me afterward. I'm like, okay.
If they're going to get into it, that's true. Unlawful, but nobody cares anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tell a lie long enough and people will start to believe it.
I mean, I think part of what you're right, they're probably targeting the National Guard guys guarding buildings. I think they were probably talking about the strikes in Venezuelan water. Well,
Yep,
I think
that
that's what
too.
they're getting at too. And we talked about that earlier. Yeah, it's probably not legal, but they're blowing up drug boats. If you've seen the footage of it, it's pretty obvious. But
Yeah.
two boats, I saw a new one too, two boats meeting out in the middle of the ocean, exchanging backpacks. I doubt that was full of cod and chum.
No, it's just like they're just getting a fresh set of clothes.
Yeah,
They're high seas camping.
yeah. I still think the right thing to do is the letters of marque. We keep bringing that up. Trump needs to
It,
do it.
and that's something that I see being brought up on Twitter more and more. People are like, "Hey, did you guys know that the Constitution allows this?" It's like Ron Paul said it in 2001. Where have y'all
Yeah.
been?
Speaking of wartime stuff, the Ukrainian peace deal is
Yeah,
being made. I think they just brushed off something from 22 and changed the date on it, or
that's what it looks like. So there was a 28-point plan. Let me look it up here because Simon sent it to me
do you think
the
any
other
Western
day.
countries could use their military to carry out a coup?
A coup where, Terry?
Yeah, we had a question in our chat over here, guys. Do you think any Western countries could use their military to carry out a coup in Venezuela?
Or in their own country?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I do. I think that's a very large possibility that some countries could use their militaries to carry out a coup within their own country. Certainly, places like, uh, well, I don't know, like Great Britain and Germany are both seeing a lot of political upheaval right now. Spain has always been kind of hit or miss. Italy's kind of pulled its shit together around its government recently, but there's a lot of these Western European countries that are, it seems every single day, are doing everything that they can to actively and openly spit in the face of their own population while upholding the migrants that have come
out of
in.
out of all those, I think the main
Yeah, own country.
yeah, out of all those, I think Great Britain's about the only one that has potential for that.
Then you have to think, like, will the military follow those orders?
Yeah.
Or is the military of that country in any kind of fighting shape to
And that
fulfill
goes
those?
back to the thing that we've been saying, the progressives taking over the education system was the greatest. I mean, everybody that's in command in the military has been through a 4-year degree. So they've had their progressive programming uploaded and now they're running the military. So it'd be interesting to see if that would happen at all.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to this
Ukraine, yeah.
Ukraine thing. Yeah. So, um, it's a 28-point plan that was published by Ukraine and the media. So basically, what it's saying is that by the end of this, Ukraine is still going to be its own country. Their sovereignty will be confirmed. A non-aggression agreement will be concluded between Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. All ambiguities of the past 30 years will be considered resolved. Russia will not invade neighboring countries, and NATO will not expand further. That's a big thing that goes back to the 90s.
Yeah.
Dialogue will be conducted between Russia and NATO, mediated by the United States to resolve all security issues. Ukraine will receive reliable security guarantees. I'm assuming that's from NATO and Western Europe. Size of the armed forces of Ukraine will be limited to 600,000 personnel. Ukraine agrees to enshrine in its constitution that it will not join NATO, and NATO agrees to include in its statutes provisions that will not accept Ukraine. NATO agrees not to deploy troops in Ukraine. European fighter aircraft will be stationed in Poland. The U.S. guarantees that the U.S. will receive compensation for this guarantee. If Ukraine invades Russia, it will lose the guarantee. If Russia invades Ukraine, in addition to a decisive coordinated military response, all global sanctions will be reinstated, recognition of new territories, and all other benefits of this deal will be revoked. If Ukraine, without cause, launches a missile at Moscow or St. Petersburg, the security guarantee will be considered invalid. Ukraine retains the right to join the EU and will receive short-term preferential access to European markets. Let's see here. Creation of a Ukraine Development Fund. The United States will cooperate with Ukraine on joint reconstruction, infrastructure development, mineral extraction. World Bank will develop a special financing package. Russia will be reintegrated into the global economy. Sanctions will be lifted. The U.S. will conduct long-term economic cooperation agreements aimed at mutual development in the fields of energy, natural resources, infrastructure, AI, data processing, rare earth minerals in the Arctic, and other mutually beneficial agreements. Russia will be invited to return to the G8. Frozen assets will be used in the following way. $100 billion of frozen Russian assets will be invested in U.S.-led reconstruction efforts in Ukraine. There will be a joint American-Russian working group on security issues to be established to facilitate and ensure the fulfillment of all provisions. Russia will legislatively enshrine a policy of non-aggression towards Europe and Ukraine. United States and Russia will agree to extend the validity of treaties on the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons and arms control, including START 1. Ukraine agrees to remain a non-nuclear state. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant will be restarted under IAEA supervision. Both countries undertake to introduce educational programs in schools and society to promote understanding and tolerance of different cultures. So it's
So, what whoever has whatever territory when that's signed is theirs. Is that what they're going to do, or?
it seems like Ukraine will cede the Donbass and the Crimean Peninsula. So it's basically the 2022 agreement that Boris Johnson torpedoed at the behest of the Biden administration with some extra stuff because Russia took so much territory.
So they want. Didn't Trump say this has to be responded or worked out by Thanksgiving, or it's null and void, or what?
Not 100% sure what the timeline is on it, but it's good if it comes to pass. It's long overdue.
I mean, they've got to do something. I can't understand how this just keeps dragging on. And then today or yesterday there was a bunch of Zelensky's business associates have frauded out or embezzled out $100 million, I guess.
Yeah. Like the amount of fraud and graft that's come out of that conflict is, I don't think we'll ever see the scale of it.
No, I mean, I think it was just showing up at airplanes with pallets of money, I imagine. I don't know. Who knows where the hell they were selling all the stuff we were giving them to.
Oh, that would be Mexico.
Oh, great.
Yeah. When you've got guys showing up on the border carrying an AT-4 rocket launcher that obviously came from Ukraine, then yeah.
And what happened to those protests? Those just kind of fizzled, huh?
Which ones?
Last week, the cartel killed that popular governor, and
oh yeah,
they were threatening to. Mexico City was jam packed with people, and it just kind of went away.
Yeah, the cartels probably came and said to cut the shit.
Yeah. They certainly have the hardware if it's all coming from Ukraine. But yeah, we'll see if that shakes out. Are we going to do a show next week? We'll update on that.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be doing a show next week. We'll follow up on what happened with that agreement. See what else comes out. I think we hit on everything we wanted to hit on. We got Epstein, MTG, Trump's burning down his base, and Ukraine. That was big news for the week.
Yeah, there's also a interview that I have yet to see the I just saw a few clips of Nikki Haley's son went on Tucker. He's kind of got his political debut.
Yeah, it seems weird.
And
Nikki Haley kind of went out. I mean, what was her policies when she turning into John McCain or?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She was UN ambassador for a little while. She was very Israel first. She's actually the one that said on stage that that Israel doesn't need the United States. The United States needs Israel.
Right.
And a lot of people cheered for that at the time, and a lot of people were like, "How does that work out?" And she was never asked to quantify it, never asked to justify it. But her son seems to be much in the based and red-pilled variety.
Right.
So we'll have to keep an eye on him.
Oh yeah, and I forgot. Rest in shit, Dick Cheney. So.
Yes, Dick Cheney is dead. The crabs are dancing. The African guys are carrying the coffin.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm some sort of GOP simp and he went against the narrative. The guy was a monster.
Yes.
And it was weird that the people at his funeral, Rachel Maddow was at his funeral.
Yeah, like the front row were all arch Dems who were calling him Satan.
Yeah, you can find the actual clip. I think she called him the Antichrist or something. And then here she is at his funeral weeping.
Yeah, because no matter how bad Dick Cheney was in 2003 when we were ready to roll into Iraq, Orange Man is still the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And Dick Cheney didn't like Orange Man, so that makes Dick Cheney good now.
The multiple war crimes that guy's probably guilty of. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for joining us. Like I said, we'll be back next week. Roads to Number 2 Liberty on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, R2L Pod at Twatter. If you're going to find us on X, alexjonesstore.com/R2L for some Alex Jones products. If you're into health supplements, I need to hit that up. I'm getting low on some things. They do work effectively. We've tried several of them and I haven't had any complaints. And I'm not just saying that to shill stuff. If you like Alex Jones and InfoWars, it's a good way to support them and get a decent price on your supplements, which all of you should be lifting heavy things or running in place, depending on where you're at in your exercise journey. So we'll see you next week and stay honky.
Oh, where's my horn?
Oh,
where's my horn? Where'd it go? Honk honk.
We'll find that next week.
Yep.